Welcome back everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make smoked pulled pork in a pellet smoker. All right, so we're going to get started by setting our pellet smoker up, and the first thing we're going to do is fill our hopper. Now these pellets here are a 50-50 mix of cherry and pecan. I absolutely love that combination for pork, but if you've got another favorite flavor for pork, go ahead and use that. Now we'll shut our hopper lid and then we'll turn our pellet on, and then we're going to set our temperature. So we're just going to rotate that knob to around 135 degrees Celsius or 275 Fahrenheit. Just press that knob in. Now it's going to go through its preheating cycle, which will take about 10 minutes. All right, so while our pellet smoker is going through its preheating cycle, we've got our little pork butt out. This one's around 3 kilos. It really doesn't need much trimming. There's a little bit of excess fat here, which I'll just trim down. Flip it over. There's really not much else that needs trimming on this one. So I'll get it back to the fat side up. And all I'm going to do is just score this top side in a crisscross pattern. And that way, it'll just help the flavor penetrate a little bit deeper. And then all I'm going to do next is just give it a nice light coat in some yellow mustard. If you don't have yellow mustard, you can use some olive oil. And all this is going to do is just help our rubs stick to the meat. Now we can season it up. If you've got a favorite pork rub, go ahead and use that. But I'm going to be using a combination of our honey soy slammer and steak shooter. I'm going to start by giving this a base coat in honey soy slammer. And you really want to get some seasoning in those score marks. And then we'll top it off with steak shooter. All right, now this is ready to go once our smoker's up to temperature. All right, and after almost 15 minutes, we are at temperature. So we'll open our lid. I'm just going to get a drip tray underneath where our pork's going to sit. And then I'll get this beautiful little pork butt on. And I just like to cook on this middle rack just to get the pork a little bit further away from any direct heat. Now our pork's in, we can shut our lid and let this start smoking away. So if you've got another style of smoker, barbecue, or even if you want to use your oven, you can absolutely follow along to this video. You can use the cooking method, the times, the temperature guides, and then you can make some delicious pulled pork at home as well. But now I've got that pork butt in the smoker. I'm just going to let it go for 2 to 3 hours now. And what I'll be looking for next is it to have developed a nice, deep, rich mahogany color, and that rub to have set nicely on there as well. So we'll let this pork smoke away for a while now, and then we'll check back in once we're a bit further into this cook. All right, we're almost 2.5 hours in. Let's have a look at this pork butt. Now I'm loving the color that's coming along on that. I just want that color to continue coming along, because as you can see, it's not quite there on this side. So I want that to just come along a little further so we won't waste any more time. We'll keep that lid shut and check back in again soon. All right, it's been another hour since we last checked in. So we're around 3.5 hours into this cook now. I'm happy to wrap this up because our bark is looking amazing. We're around 74-ish degrees Celsius internally or 165 Fahrenheit. So now I'm just going to get this out. And I've got a few layers of foil there. I'm just going to put our pork butt in that. And then I'm just going to pour a little bit of apple juice on top. You don't have to do this, or you can add any other fruity or complementing flavors. Just a little bit there. And then we'll wrap it up nice and tight. And then this will go back in the smoker. We'll shut our lid and we'll come back to check on that once it hits around 96 degrees Celsius or 205 Fahrenheit internal. All right, I reckon our pork is going to be another 1.5 to 2 hours away from being ready. So in the meantime, we are going to make a slaw, which we'll use later, because I reckon I'll put together some pulled pork sandwiches. So I'm just going to start by grating 2 carrots. So I'm just peeling them first, and then I'll just grate them into a bowl. And then into that, I'm going to add 1/4 of a finely chopped purple cabbage. Just leave a little bit there for now of each. And then 1/4 green cabbage. And then I'm just going to finely chop 1 to 2 tablespoons worth of parsley. And we'll get that into the bowl. And we'll add the juice of half a lemon, a good 2 to 3 tablespoons of whole egg mayonnaise. Give that a good mix. And then a good pinch of cracked black pepper. Give it another good mix through, and then you can have a taste, adjust it to your liking, and then I'm just going to set this aside in the fridge until I'm ready to use it later on. All right, so we've been wrapped up for almost 2 hours now, so this is around a 5.5 to 6 hour cook. I reckon this should almost be ready. That is feeling super soft. We're at temperature, so we'll get it out, open it up, and have a proper probe around. All right, so I'm just going to get it in a foil tray just in case we lose any juices, and then we'll unwrap it. Oh, this is looking super tender already. I can already see that bone coming out there. We'll have a proper probe around. All right, that is feeling incredibly soft all over. So what I'm going to do is just let that steam off for around 10 minutes just to stop that cooking process so it doesn't overcook. And then I'm just going to let this rest. It's a warm day, so I'm just going to let it rest at room temperature for about an hour before I come back to pull it apart. And then with our smoker, we just want to hold the shutdown button for 3 seconds, and then it's going to give us this message which is telling us to drain the hopper. So we just want to get our bucket underneath. Then we've just got a handle on the side of the hopper here, and that'll just drain the pellets. And now those pellets have just fallen into our bucket below, and we can use them in the next cook. And as we come back to the screen, we've just got this timer counting down. That's just to let us know how long is left in this shutdown cycle. The smoker is now going to go through a process where it will get rid of any pellets in that worm, and it'll also go through a high temp burn off to get rid of any grease. So we can just let that go now, and then it's going to power down automatically after it's finished that cycle. All right, so our pork has been resting for almost an hour. I can't wait any longer. It's time to get this out and pull it apart. Take that out. I will carefully get this foil out. And pour these juices in because that is all flavour. And then we just want to take this bone out. As you can see, that is super, super tender. Look at that. Juicy, tender. It's going to be packed full of flavour. I cannot wait to try some. So let's try a little bit and then we'll put this sandwich together. All right, I'll get a nice little barky bit. Wow, that's good. I absolutely love that flavour combination of the steak shooter and honey soy slammer. So tender, so juicy, packed full of flavour. Let's put this sandwich together. All right, so we're going to go down with some of that beautiful pulled pork and some of my hookshot whiskey jalapeno barbecue sauce and some of that slaw we made earlier. And we'll put our top bun on and that's good to go. That's so good. Well, there you have it. There's how to make smoked pulled pork in a pellet smoker. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. But for now, that's the end of the video. I'm going to go enjoy the rest of this off camera. So thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.